Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. So I'm over here by Woods Cross, Utah, right by Salt Lake, at this Sinclair facility, dropping off this oversize. I don't like parking at the shipper or receiver overnight. Today's Sunday. Tomorrow's my appointment at 9 a.m., but I had no choice because my oversize permit states I can't move from 6:30 a.m. until 9 o'clock a.m. In Salt Lake City. So the truck stop's like about a half hour away from here. With traffic, like 45 minutes, so that means I wouldn't make my appointment at 9 o'clock. So, anyways, I went over there. I saw a security guard, but dude was crashed out, so I didn't want to bother him. I'm sure he'll probably approach me when he wakes up, and I have to show him my paperwork. But anyways, I was empty. I shut down at a truck stop on I-15 last night or yesterday before dark. And I only had 130 miles to get over here, so it was a light day. Anyways, it gives me something to do on a Sunday. So I was emptying out my pee bottles. Yeah, my pee bottles, I empty them out. And I rinse them out with water. And not like some of these guys, well, not some, a lot of these truck drivers just leaving their, I can't stand that when you pull into a rest area or you pull into a truck stop or you're going down the interstate and you're seeing freaking piss bottles all over the place. That just to me is like, you're just a nasty human being and you're very lazy to just literally just take your pee bottles and drop them off over the place. I mean, just leave them on the side of the road. I mean, truck drivers already get a bad rap from law enforcement and the public and everything else is just being a bunch of filthy pigs. So guys, the things, I'm a pretty patient person and I don't really get mad about a lot of things, but the 5 things that I cannot stand are a person washing their feet in a sink in the truck stop that I'm washing my hands in, a person that's doing 30 or 40 miles an hour through a parking lot at a truck stop, seeing billboards with realtors and attorneys' faces on them, because realtors and attorneys, they feel like they're the pretty people of the world, right? That shit irritates me. A person that hangs out in the left lane, just sitting there driving in the left lane, that really irritates me. And then a person that just leaves their pee bottles and garbage outside their truck and just leaves. Those are the 5 things that irritate me. Anyways, not important to the video. So I was emptying out my pee bottles, and I was thinking about yesterday when I did the video on US 50 in Nevada. I've been on US 93 north and southbound, going from like Twin Falls, Idaho, all the way down to Vegas. 93 is a good highway to take. And then I've taken it north as well from Vegas all the way up to Twin Falls. But I've never been on US 50 from Nevada into Utah. So as I was driving, I saw a sign, and I've been through the Rockies a lot, wintertime and summer, but I don't go through the Rockies anymore. I did a video. I was in YouTube jail for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I picked up some onions in Delta, Colorado, and the stipulation on the BOL said I can't stop until I get into a warmer area. Well, when I picked up and I tarped, I had a shit ton of bad weather, and so I couldn't stop. So I was forced to drive through the Rockies in like icy, snowy conditions, doing like 20 miles an hour down. I was at over 10,000 feet elevation. And just going down, I don't like that shit. I believe if you got a chain up, man, you shouldn't be on the roads. But there are certain times when you have to chain up or whatever the case is. And there were chain up laws when I had the onions, but I was so heavy I didn't care about putting chains on. I have put chains on a few times. It's not fun. But anyways, I realized that when I was on US 50, I said to myself, because I didn't really look at my route, and I'm like, damn, man, I saw all these chain up, areas. Thank God it was good weather. I mean, I could have gotten up there and it could have been really bad really quick. So I was like, damn, man, I should have really thought about this. You know, a lot of people think like when we roll these big oversized units, like we just haphazardly just go down the interstate and then we come up to an exit and say, you know, I think I'm going to exit here and I think I'm going to take the most difficult way possible to get to my delivery. You know, we don't make those decisions. DOT does for the states. You know, when you apply for your oversized permit, you got to follow their route. Okay, so they pull us off the interstate or whatever the case is and put us on these 2 lanes. You know, they don't care about the driver or the truck or the load, or, you know, it's because we're, you know, they don't want to inconvenience anybody else on those roads, so they pull the oversize off. Whatever. Anyways, so I really thought I was going to do a video on this. I started thinking, I'm like, you know, being a semi driver is like being a degenerate gambler. And the reason why I say that is, you roll the dice constantly. Give me them dice. Roll them constantly. Like a degenerate gambler. Like, you know, for instance, you know, when you wake up in your bunk in your truck and you wake up in your bunk that morning, you could be going to sleep in a bunk in a jail cell if you have a CDL and you drive semi. I mean, it can happen. You could kill somebody on the road. You woke up in your bunk and that evening you're going to sleep in a jail cell because you killed somebody. Roll the dice, right? Every time, you know, being an owner operator, and when you're a company driver, you roll the dice as well. You know, a lot of people get on company drivers, you know, idiots and rookies. I mean, we all got to start somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. So unfortunately, a lot of these people with new CDLs have to work for the big companies. When I had a fresh CDL, I had to drive for a company. I drove for a guy that had some trucks, some flatbeds, and out of SDS Express in Brown Deer, Wisconsin. Not a large company like Swift or Schneider or anything like that. But people give, you know, kind of lay off of the new drivers. We all have to start somewhere. All have to start somewhere, you know. So, you know, give them a break. But, you know, the thing is a company driver will roll the dice too, because they could end up in the same situation. They could go to sleep in their bunk, wake up in their bunk, and literally be going to sleep in a jail cell because they fell asleep at the wheel or wasn't paying attention. There was an accident and they ass packed somebody and end up killing somebody. So, you know, we roll the dice all the time. You start this truck up in the morning, you're rolling the dice. You pull out, you're rolling the dice. Am I going to break down today? Roll the dice. You know, if I would have broke down over on US 50, I was so far away from, you know, help that, you know, it's not like AAA's coming out to change a tire or, you know, you run out of fuel or whatever the case is. AAA's not coming. The bill collector's coming because it's going to be expensive. You got to get towed off of that highway. You know, you rolling the dice, man. I hope I got this $1,500 or $2,000 that's going to cost me or more. It's gonna, like I said in the previous video, our insurance company reimburses us, so it only costs us $250. However, I got to pay it out of pocket. So if that tow costs me $3,000, I better have that shit there, or I'm gonna be in trouble, right? So you're rolling the dice. Give me them dice. I want to roll them, right? If you you know, if something falls off my flatbed trailer because I didn't secure it properly, I'm rolling the dice. If I get a blowout, I'm rolling the dice. You know, it's if I'm you know, looking for a load and the loads aren't paying, whatever the case is, I might have to sit in a truck stop for 2 or 3 days. I'm rolling the dice when I pick up a load going to a certain area that I know that there's not loads or whatever the case is. I might end up sitting there 3, 4, 5 days rolling the dice, right? Give me them dice back. I want to roll them, right? And the weather gets bad. You're rolling the dice. The roads get bad. You're rolling the dice. You go through a scale. You're rolling the dice. You go by a trooper. You're rolling the dice. You know, cars going by, traffic going nonstop. Somebody smashes into you. You're rolling the dice. You know, it's like you're just kind of, if you fuck with lot lizards, you're rolling the dice, man. She might give you the clap, right? Or give me herpes on top of that for those who fuck with lot lizards. You're rolling the dice, man. You know, when you go home or whatever the case is, you're rolling the dice because you're not getting any money. And my brother Jason Gilbert says, he's a vice president of marketing and sales, and he calls his job. He says he has golden handcuffs, and that's exactly what being a semi driver is. You're shackled to this truck. If you're an owner operator, if you have your own equipment, you're rolling the dice, man. You got golden handcuffs. You're literally shackled to this truck all the time. And you're fearful to go home longer than a week or 2 weeks or whatever the case is because you don't have any money coming in. You're rolling the dice. You're always rolling the dice. And people wonder why, we have the gray hair and we look so tired and, we're stressed out and whatever the case is, because we're constantly rolling that dice, man. We're constantly rolling the dice. Give me them dice. I want to roll them. Every day, every hour, we're just, give me them dice. I got to roll the dice, man. Got to make that money. It's like a degenerate gambler, man. It's just crazy. Because I was a general contractor for years. I had 15 guys and 3 trucks. A lot of people think I've been in trucking for a long time, but I got my CDL in 09. In 08, when the market tanked, I was owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I had to let go 15 guys and had to sell all my trucks and lost my house and everything. I was sleeping on my mother's couch. I rolled the dice with that too, right? And so a buddy of mine says, go get your CDL. I'm like, why the fuck would I want to do that? And I'm not going to waste a wish on it, but I should have been doing it 20 years prior. But, so when the brochure... So I caught fuel in North Las Vegas yesterday morning. For instance, like if I'm going into Cali with this old 2001, right? I'm rolling the dice, man, because I'm not supposed to be in Cali with an old truck, right? I'm rolling the dice every day. But I catch fuel in North Las Vegas, and because I shut down in Cali the night before after I picked up this oversize from Bakersfield, and this guy, some of y'all look like shit. Look like absolute dog shit. This guy, he looked like an infant with a beard. He had his big ass, scraggly, unkempt beard. Boogers, just dry boogers all on his mustache. Food around his mouth. His shirt, it looked like he he just got done eating a sloppy Joe sandwich and just got done finishing. His hands were, he's like looking around for a napkin. He's like, fuck it. And he just wiped it on his shirt. The guy looked like complete dog shit. Getting in this raggedy ass, beat up ass, dirty ass truck, just looked like dog shit. It's like, man, have some fucking pride, man. Be a professional, I always mess with my wife. I tell her that I'm a professional athlete because NASCAR drivers, they call themselves professional athletes, but they also call themselves professional drivers. Well, if you go to the truck stop and you're walking into a truck stop, it says, welcome professional drivers, right? So I mess with my wife. I tell her I'm a professional athlete because I'm a professional driver, right? But some of y'all, a lot of y'all aren't even professional drivers, man, the way you guys act out here and the way you guys look out here. But again, some of these, I wouldn't even say some, I've seen a lot, that look like that because they're stressed out. They're constantly rolling the dice, man. They're stressed, They're stressed that their wives or their husbands are screwing around on them when they're on the road, right? Like, I'm very fortunate. My wife, hi, baby girl, I love you. She's a nurse, if you subscribe to the channel. She's got her own occupation. I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. She doesn't stress me when I'm out 4-6 weeks. She doesn't, she hates to see me go, but she loves to see me come home. But she cooks for me. I always come home to a clean house. I don't have to worry about, her taking the money and spending it on meth or spending it on her boyfriend or whatever the case is. I'm very blessed. Very, very blessed. Very fortunate. But there's a lot of drivers out here that aren't as fortunate. They got to worry about, their kids hating them and acting up in school because they're not home, rolling the dice, right? They got to worry about their spouse or their significant other screwing around on them or cleaning out their house when they're gone on the road. They come home, they got nothing, rolling the dice, right? It's constant stress, man. It's constant, just, these guys out here having heart attacks, and you got to worry about these kids, throwing bricks off of a fucking bridge. My cousin was in a truck a couple of years ago in Georgia, and he was going under an underpass, and some fucking kids dropped some big ass bricks and hit his passenger window, and could have killed him. Again, rolling the dice. Give me them dice. I want to roll them. Give me them dice. I want to fucking roll them every day. Every day you're rolling like a degenerate gambler. I got to pay my bills, right? And in trucking, just like gambling, you win some and you lose some. We've lost enough in trucking. We've won enough in trucking. Just like a degenerate gambler, right? Won and lost, and these degenerate gamblers that keep losing and losing and losing, they lose everything, right? They lose their house, they lose their spouse, they lose everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're out there and they're just chasing it, man. Give me them dice, I gotta roll them. Give me them dice, I gotta roll them. That's exactly what truck driving's all about, man. Give me them dice, I gotta roll them. You know what I'm saying? It's just absolutely crazy, So when I got into trucking, this broker, these recruiters send you these, nice little folders and colorful brochures, and, they got this white guy with a baseball cap and a flannel, behind a wheel of a immaculate, perfect, no watermarks, not a grease spot on this dude's truck, right? Inside looks like Mary May just went through it. It's perfect. It's just immaculate. It's perfect. The weather he's in is 70 degrees, sunny. He's got his windows down a little. They're not going to show a brother, with a freaking, a Puma suit on and a big fat chain with a Kango. They're not going to do that, right? That's racist, right? So they're going to show some country dude out there just, perfect teeth and whatever the case is, and he's going down the most perfect, perfect, spotless, flawless, for hundreds of miles. It's nothing but a straight road, wide as shit, perfect day out, and it's snowing out. He's just going down this perfect, absolute, like it just got paved. The white lines on the outside are perfect. They're bright. The yellow lines, the dividing lines are yellow and perfect. It's the most perfect road. If you Googled the most perfect road in the world, that would be this road that dude's on. Don't go and Google it. It's part of the story, right? But and his scenery, it's the prettiest, most pristine scenery in the world, right? That's the road he's on. And he's smiling and he's just living life, man. And I was like, damn, I want to do that, But then if you see this monster that I saw in North Las Vegas when I caught fuel, you see that monster, if he would have been in the brochure, I'd have been like, hell no, I don't want to drive semi, man. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude's a monster. Why would I want to be dude? You know what I'm saying? So that's the portrait of the truck driver nowadays, is this filthy animal. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, again, it literally it's rolling the dice every fucking day. Every fucking day you're rolling the dice, man. You're rolling the dice. What am I going to screw up today? What predicament am I going to be in today? What situation am I going to have? When I saw this sign yesterday on US 50, it said next service is 158 miles. I was like, damn, this shit got real, right? And I was like, damn, man. So my mind starts playing Scrabble with itself, right? Well, what are we going to do if this happens? Well, I'll just spell this. What are we going to do if this happens? Well, I'll just spell this, right? So your mind's playing tricks on you all fucking day, man. All day. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I going to get sleep tonight because some knucklehead just parked next to me with this loud-ass, broken-ass fucking reefer? Roll the fucking dice. Am I going to sleep tonight, man? Am I going to make my appointment, especially you guys and gals with them dry boxes and them reefers with your door appointments? Am I going to make my damn appointment today? Am I going to be in the dock for 5, 6, 7 hours? You roll the fucking dice, man. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Give me them back. I want to roll them again tomorrow. I want to roll them again in an hour, right? It's like Kenny Rogers, right? right? Yeah, the gambler. You know, you never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Shit, I count mine. I count mine. Shit, I need to know what I got. I need to know what I got for my money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have money for rent. You know, fucking money for the strip club. You fucking make it rain. Oh, my wife's gonna have my ass for that one. You make it rain. Not like I don't really like strip clubs. I really don't. Got some buddies that do, but come on, who hasn't been in a strip club, right? Guys and girls, right? Like if my wife were to go to a strip club, hi baby girl, I love you. If my wife were to go to a strip club, an all girls strip club or all dudes strip club, you know, you got fucking 10 dudes fucking waving their big ass dicks in her face. I don't care. As long as she ain't fucking grabbing it and fucking in the mouth, right? I mean, it's a strip club. It's not a sex club, right? So it's like, you know, as long as she ain't doing that, what the fuck am I gonna worry about? You know, I'm a secure guy. I'm not confident, but you know, I'm not inferior, right? So it's like, you know, I mean, if we do go to a strip club, we sit at the bar. You know, we don't go to what's it called? Where the poles, the Sniffers Row. We don't go up to Sniffers Row, right? We just sit at the bar, and I like to buy $15 beers. They taste better, and $25 mixers. They taste better, right? So, you know, if you say you haven't been to a strip club, you should go at least one time in your life, you know. Again, if you're married or you have a significant other, you go to a strip club, you're fucking rolling the dice, man. Is my wife going to be shitty at me when I get home? She's going to roll the dice, man. You know, so, you know, it kind of stuck in my throat yesterday when I was doing the video. I'm like, damn, man, I'm literally out in the middle of nowhere. And again, you know, as a truck driver, if you know, your truck could just die in the middle of the road, man. And if you don't know anything, like I didn't know anything about trucks. I didn't know anything about mechanics at all when I first got into trucking. And you could have just a little itty bitty broken wire, man, that'll fuck your whole day up. Fuck it up. Rolling the dice, man. Give me them dice back. I want to roll them, man. Give me them. I want to roll them. I want to keep rolling them like a degenerate gambler, man. Like a degenerate fucking gambler, you know? It's absurd, you know, the stress, you know, and people wonder why, you know, man, you look tired, or you look unkempt, or you look, you know, you're frustrated, or you're angry all the time, right? You know, these truck drivers are just so angry and always in a rush and this and that. I got to get to that delivery, man. I got to get to that pickup. You got brokers calling you. When you get in there, what's your ETA? What's your current location? Are you going to be able to deliver this? How heavy are you? What's your laden weight? What's this? What's that? It's just constant stress, man. I mean, there's probably very, very few occupations in this world where you literally could go to bed and be in jail that night for your job. I'm sure cops, maybe doctors. I mean, maybe you can count them on one hand how many occupations that are literally that stressful where you could wake up in your bunk and be in a jail cell that night for just being stupid, right? Or and not even being your fault, but they automatically blame the truck driver, right? So it's a constant stressful situation, man. You are tense all day. You know, am I going to get food poison? I mean, I got a fridge and a mic. You guys have seen that. You know, my wife cooks me when she's home. I go out with a lot of frozen food, and I go out with 40 gallons of water and stuff like that, so I'm not under the thumb of the truck stop with their food, and I pack my truck with food and from Costco and so on and so on and so on. A lot of drivers don't do. I mean, I don't know about a lot of drivers, but the ones that I've talked to, they don't seem to do that kind of stuff. There's very few that actually keep a stock truck, right? But am I going to get fucking food poisoning from this freaking grease hole that I ate at last night? Roll the dice, man. Roll the dice. Roll it. Give me them back, man. I want to roll them again, man. I'm going to roll them again on everything you do in this pilot seat. You are rolling the fucking dice every day. And it really just stuck in my throat yesterday. I'm like, damn it, I could be in a serious situation, not only just with the truck breaking down, but the weather. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, people think, like I said, like we just, like these big ass wide loads, like we just haphazardly just go down the road haphazardly, like do 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 do. And, I think I'm going to go up to this next exit and get off for no apparent reason and take the most difficult way to get to my delivery. That's what I'm gonna do. No, man, you're a DOT's mercy. Roll the dice, man. With your equipment, rolling. How many of us have had a questionable tire? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it'll probably last another 500,000 miles or whatever the case. Roll the dice, man. You get a blowout, now you got to have the bill collector, roadside service come, right? Roll the dice, man. Am I gonna have enough money for that, right? It's always just sitting in the back of your mind, man. And that's why truck drivers, it's a revolving door in this industry. People just come and go, and then the ones that do get their own equipment, they don't know how to do the IFTA, or they don't know how to do UCR or HVUT, or do this and do that, and then they're like, I just gave it up, man. I went back to go drive for somebody. Because not only when you're here in this pilot seat being stressed out and rolling the fucking dice, now when you get to the house, you got to do all your receipts. You got to do, your quarterly IFTA. You got to do, your annual inspections on your equipment. You got to do your DOT physical. It's just one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. And like when, I don't understand, like, I like going out for my 4-6 weeks. I truly do. And yeah, it gets a little difficult. It does. It gets a little difficult. I'd rather do that than excuse me, get some water. I would rather do that. Sorry. Than be a Monday through Friday driver on the road and come home, because I did that for a little while. When I drove for the road, he's like, oh, I really would like to get my original BOLs. So I'm going to start having you come Monday through Friday, or I'm going to have you come home on the weekends. I'm like, damn, dude, I can mail you that. Oh, I don't want to pay for shipping. So they want to inconvenience the driver so he can get all of his originals, right? So it really sucked, because you would leave out super early Monday morning, really early, go get loaded, run like especially when we were on paper logs, we just ran like fucking cowboys. And you just run, and then you're getting home either super late Friday night or early Saturday morning. So then you got to park your equipment at the yard, jump in your personal vehicle. Now that's okay. So if you don't have, say for instance, you don't make a shit ton of money and you guys only have one vehicle, now you got to have your significant other or your wife or your brother or your friend come pick you up, because your significant other or your husband or your wife has your car. So now you're like, fuck, because you only have one vehicle, right? So then you get home, you're ass tired, right? So then you drop all your gear on the floor because you got your dirty clothes, and if you eat out of the truck, you got your dishes, whatever the case is, plus all your paperwork you got to get over to the boss. So then you go to sleep, right? Saturday you wake up, you're ass tired because you've been running like a mad person, right? And then you got to go and you got to drop off your paperwork to the boss, right? Because they don't want to inconvenience themselves. They just want to inconvenience the driver. They don't want to drive to your house to get it. You got to drop it off to them, right? Or you can leave it in the truck, whatever the case is, whatever. So a lot of times I had to drive it over to his house. So anyways, and then you got to do your laundry and you got to do your dishes and so on and so on and so on. So Saturday you're ass tired, so you probably end up just sleeping in all day and then not doing anything. Saturday night you might go out with the wife or the girlfriend or the boyfriend, whatever, or the husband, whatever. And then you go while you're out. That's when you drop off your paperwork, maybe, or not. Sunday is doing all your laundry, getting your shit prepared, going to church, whatever the case is. And then you're back on the road Monday. So it's like you might as well stay out 4 to 6 weeks. You might as well. because that weekend is a working weekend. You're working every fucking weekend. Every weekend. Yeah, oh yeah, I get home every weekend. But are you happy that you're getting home every weekend? Because I wasn't. I told my wife while we were dating at the time, I said, I hate fucking coming home on weekends. I hate it. I'd rather go out 4 to 6 weeks, especially if you drive for somebody and you take off 5 days or a week. You know what I'm saying? If you're out 6 weeks, you take a week off. It's like a little vacation. So I never liked doing the weekend thing personally, but rolling the dice, right? Are you going to work for a company that wants you to be home every weekend so they can get their originals? Roll the dice. Trucking, nothing but rolling the dice, man. Degenerate, degenerate, degenerate fucking gambler. Like I said, you're shackled to this truck, man. You've got golden handcuffs. But anyways, I just wanted to do it because I started thinking, I'm like, damn, man, it really is like being a degenerate gambler, being in this pilot seat, man. Whether you're an owner operator and have, whatever, like I said, we got a shop, I got to maintain that. I mean, there's a lot of shit that I got to do outside of just sitting in the pilot seat. It's like I work harder when I'm at the house than I do when I'm on the road. Sometimes, most times. But again, being a company driver, if you break, you screw up and you get into an accident or whatever, or you don't do what the slave driver wants you to do, we'll park that truck, man. Get your own way home. Now you got to take all your gear out of there. And I know because we've had to recover a couple trucks. I told a couple drivers, get your shit out of the truck, man. I'll just come pick it up. And that's not a good feeling to have to do that. Because when you get to the truck, they've done something malicious. But then again, there's companies out there that are shitbag companies that they haven't paid a driver or whatever the case is, and the driver's got no choice but to take their shit out of the truck and go somewhere else, or your truck breaks down and the owner doesn't have the money to fix it, so now you're sitting somewhere for 4 or 5 weeks not making any bread. So then you gotta pack up and go look for another job. So it's not all company drivers got it made. Not really. No, I don't really see any truck driver that has it made. I really don't. Whether you have your own shop or if you're in the pilot seat and you're driving and you're alongside, other drivers you may have or whatever, you don't have it easy. It's very difficult. It's a lot of work. It's very demanding. And it's very stressful, and it's very unhealthy at the end of the day. And I eat well, believe it or not. I don't eat all the truck stop garbage and drink soda and stuff like that. But it's so. But if you're the people that actually own the company and they don't go out on the road at all, and all they're doing is dispatching. Well, not all. I mean, dispatching is difficult too. But if you're just sitting at the office and you're 9 to 5 in the office and you take the cell phone home, and if you have a breakdown, the drivers call you, whatever the case is, and you just got to maintain the office and the paperwork, that's not a big deal. But if you're out there driving, you got other trucks and you're out there with your drivers, and then you got to take care of dispatch on the road, and you got to take care of the billing on the road, and you got to take care of this on the road. And then when you get home, you got to maintain a vehicle or whatever the case is, and then you got to do all your receipts and whatever the case is. And I know I'm bitching about it. Well, I'm not really bitching about it. I'm just putting a comparison out there. I enjoy it. Not all the time, but I do enjoy it. And I chose to do this. I have chose to do this. It didn't choose me. I chose it, right? So, but anyways, I just wanted to do a video on, semi-driving is like being a degenerate gambler, man. You're shackled to the truck, golden handcuffs, man, golden handcuffs. And it's very stressful. And when people look at truck drivers, they're like, oh, you look disgusting or whatever. I mean, you don't have to look like the animal that I saw, the monster that I saw in North Las Vegas. That's ridiculous. But if you didn't brush your teeth for one day, or you haven't taken a shower in 3 days or whatever the case is, but you still, your appearance is still decent. If you're not dropping fucking garbage and piss bottles on the side of the road or in the parking lot or at a rest area, whatever the case is, there's good drivers and there's very, 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 very bad drivers. So, but anyways, just think about semi driving as being a degenerate gambler. So, anyways, give me those dice. I'm gonna roll them. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.